What's up, Wastelanders? Bringing a little bit of good, a little bit of bad news. I had a review planned this year from SHOT Show. There was an armor brand originally called, I believe it's pronounced Jiao Chung. They later changed their name to OXO Tactical. The guy is really passionate about armor and protection, but being a Chinese manufacturer, they get a lot of backlash, a lot of people who don't want to buy their products, so he asked me to test the armor out. I went ahead and filmed all of the stuff that needed to be filmed to show what kind of damage it could take and everything, but most of the footage got corrupted. We had a microphone system that failed first, so I lost half my sound, and then the weather ruined the camera, and Windows 11 decided to destroy most of my footage. I got what I had left to Wolf Nash over at the main area for Wolf and Stag Wastelanders, and he tried to put everything together that was left. He asked me to make a video apologizing and reaching out to OXO Tactical for this. However, we're going to put together what we do have and review the product still so that we don't let you guys down in spirit. This is what's left of the Hard Rock 3++ armor. As you can see, it's pretty banged up, but it withstood 7.62 by 3.9, 12 gauge slug, 12 gauge target, 12 gauge buck, 45 9mm, and 5.56 shots. The 5.56 down here in the bottom, it went deep into there, it didn't break it. The slug, which also went down into this section here, it made a huge bulge, but it did not break it. This particular one was not meant to be submerged in water, but heavy rainfall and mild flooding, as comes to the Pacific Northwest, had it where this thing was soaked, and it still held against all the shots. I would not want to be the guy wearing the armor, though, when this happens. Okay. Next, we have some of their polymer frame stuff. This one was the Hard Rock 3A. And it also took a 12 gauge slug with a huge bow to it. It took 45 caliber, as you can see, target loads. It actually even took, up here at the top, a 7.62 by 3.9 round, and it held up. It stopped the round with, of course, bulging, but it didn't break, and that was impressive because that's well past what 3A or 3+ would hold on that, because it was full metal jacket, not mild core. And then here is their regular 3. There was less bulging in this from the 12 gauge than there was, and the slug down here, of course, than there was in the other two plates. Stopped the round dead in the middle here, down here, and flattened out and made a little disc for me. Stopped 45 with minimal bowing, 9mm, it stopped it dead in its tracks. The 7.62 by 3.9, it also stopped. We shot it with almost everything it was rated for, some of which isn't rated for in the NIJ, and I was pretty impressed with it. Would I recommend it? If it ever comes to our market, yes. I would say that if it's on if the price is right and the manufacturing sound, this would actually be all right to buy and wear, considering it held up against rounds that level 3 and 3A aren't typically rated for, and after we shot these, they still floated. They're designed to float in water. So if you see OXO Tactical hit the market and you're looking for a good choice for body armor and protection, I think that they would be a good choice to go with. Would they be the best choice? I'm comparing this to nothing else. I'm comparing it standalone. I'd say that it's a good choice for what it is. I know that the American market has a lot of, let's say, superstition. I don't want to call it superstition, but Chinese market produces a lot of things and then floods the market, and we get quality ranging from don't buy this, it's cardboard and airsoft, to like this, it held up. This would be on the spectrum of it held up to what it was supposed to do. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys, and Nash is going to put together the last of this video for us, and whatever footage we had demonstrating how much torture these things could take. Hopefully we get a good video out of it, and again, I apologize sincerely for the technology issues and how long it took to get this out. I've had this since March. So I'm not happy with those results, but we'll do better in the future. Thanks.
Hey, what's up, Wastelanders? Today we're going to be doing something special. We're going to be testing out armor plates. This company was called Zhaocheng. I believe they changed their name now to OXO Tactical. I met them at SHOT Show. The individual was very passionate about personal defense, armor, and its capabilities. He wanted us to test it with some live fire practice, if you will, and shoot it with various calibers. So that's what we're going to do today. Stand by. We fired a 12 gauge slug into the bottom of this one. It still held its own, but I will note it all got pushed back very deep. Yeah, my whole finger gets buried in this thing, as you can see, very deep. And that's it's held up still, technically. I think these plates overall are very impressive. Would recommend them. Alright, 12 gauge slug on the plate. Did it again, this time with M855 rounds. And we got a little tiny hole right here and a big bubble hole right here. We're going to see what we can do to brace the plates up. And I think I'm going to shoot it with a slug next. See how it holds up against that. It'll obviously hold against it with all this. And then we're going to find a place to brace these and put them to rest properly, the American way. Alright, this is another grandfather 5.6. This is before all the bans kicked in. Some of you states could enjoy this. I have M855 green tip ammo in this. I'm going to shoot it once. We'll see what it does. And then shoot it to the point of obliteration afterwards.
I think that's our penetration.
No, we have a still untainted. We got a dead-ass shot right here at the end, right underneath the X here. And as you can see, I mean, there's not much I can do with this. It shot right into there, and it just ballooned. By the look of how it went together, I'm going to argue that maybe it was a hollow point or an FMJ. I know this isn't substantial enough to answer, but this was not mild soft core. Oh, it was a hollow point round with a tungsten core that went into this right here. And it ballooned out and it held its own. Soaking wet, dragged through the dirt, shot with just about everything. I'm going to break out 5.56 M855 rounds on it now. Alright, I got Jack here. He's got the 7.62 by 3.9. I believe his rounds he has in there are either jacketed hollow point or FMJ. We actually don't know off the top of our head. But we're going to go ahead and shoot that plate and see how it holds up.
Yeah. This helps.
Dead-ass center. Alright, back to Nate from the Papa Deadly channel. He's going to go ahead and line up this 30-30. He hit it with no sights the first time. Let's see if he can do it again. When you're ready. While he gets this ready, he's using the plate as a knee brace. It's working out great. Okay, we are looking at very similar deformation, very similar damage. You can see the 45 kind of flowered out right in here. Again, this is a good testament to choosing your grains for defense ammo. Maybe it's not a great testament, but this armor definitely held up to what it said to so far. Next up, we're going to test the 30-30 against this. Alright, here we are again with the 45, 1911. These are the jacketed hollow points. I know they're from Spear and that they're supposed to be plus P. I cannot remember what kind of jacketed hollow points these are off the top of my head. but they've been great for testing purposes. All right, got a low and to the left hit on this armor. Some deformation. There's definitely a steel plate backing this. Mild deformation on the back, but considering I hit on the edge, which we could call a weak spot in a lot of these armor plates, it still held the round back. It still did what it's supposed to do, and the deformation is mild. I took a couple shots at it with my EDC pistol at that range. I still managed to get it. All right, before I shoot it, this is my Beretta BU9 Nano, and it's got an APX carry lower frame. I put it together. It's fairly accurate for its size, and in a state with, you know, so many restrictions on magazines, this holds 7+1, 8+1. It's a decent little concealed carry pistol. I use it for EDC. I'm going to see if I can hit it from here with this pistol and see what it does to this armor. Keep in mind, that armor is soaking wet from the bathtub test cell and all the rain. That one might not be the waterproof one. We're going to see what happens. Just look at the size of the damn round that hits it. It's got a belly button.
It's got
this thing has its own zip code.
It's a nipple.
How to give yourself a third nipple.
30-30.
Yeah, that's where the 30-30 went through. It hit through all but these last half of it. So it went through half the armor. The 7.62x3.9, which was stronger than it should have been, stopped all. I mean, you can't even see it coming through. You see it wants to, but it can't. Right back here. See where it's got a little dark and burn?
Oh, yeah.
It tried, just like it tried with this. This bubble of heat and energy, the fact that this armor stops, this is amazing.
Somebody's going to have a bruise, I know that.
This is a surgeon thing. This is I'm going to have a soft food diet for the next 2 to 3 months. Easy. I thought at first that I hit it maybe up high and it stopped all the deformation, but then I noticed the recognizable deformation at the bottom. And this answered my question about the last plate. That big fat looking coin bit was our slug. You can stop the slug no problem. There's a 1 ounce heavy core full lead, well, probably lead alternative slug traveling at almost 1,200 feet per second. There's a lot of force to hit a person. I still would not want to be the person wearing this armor, but this is actually in really good shape considering how much punishment it just took. I'm very impressed with this product. This is the 7.62x3.9. This is the 30-30. You've got deformation up and down this thing, but it held it in right here. We've got, there's the hole. It tried to drill through, and it failed. OXO held against this. This isn't on their rating list. I think it would fall somewhere between 7.62x3.9 and 7.62x5.1. But to be honest with you, that's an impressive, very powerful round that this armor just held up against. Well, next up on this one, we're going to shoot it with the 12 gauge trifecta of target loads, which we almost are positive is going to stop it. In fact, I'm probably going to skip that and buck and go straight to a slug on this, and then we'll see what the aftermath is like. All right, I've got Nate here with a Marlin 30-30. This is a 336W. It's been modified by Ranger Point Precision and a custom-made stock. This is 30-30. I believe it was called Extreme Hunting Ammo. Fusion was the name of it. And we're going to run some fusion through it and shoot that at the armor plates because it's a 30 caliber round and see how it holds up as one of those in-between rounds between common calibers like 5.56, 7.62x3.9, and 308 or 7.62x5.1. We'll see how the armor takes this soft point ammo.
Damn safety again.
You want to take the round, yeah. Push the safety off.
It is off.
Okay.
Phone.
No, do that one more time.
And it doubles as a telephone. Possibly one of the most dangerous ones that you're going to see out here on the range. This is the 4000 caliber banana, fully semi-automatic, loaded with potassium, and just for scale. But
All right, we've got Jack here. He's about to shoot 7.62 by 3.9 out of a grandfathered in rifle into that armor. It's supposed to be rated for the MSC 7.62 by 3.9, which is what we have loaded here. And we're about to take our shot. All right, so looking here at the bottom, we skimmed it the first shot. It broke off the shell, didn't do anything. So we took a second shot with those hollow points. Hollow points aren't as powerful as FMJ in terms of ballistic, punch through, if you will, penetration, but it stopped it without any deformation in the back. I'm confident it would do the same with FMJ. This is a much more robust plate. We're going to move on to 45 next. Fuck. Shoot it again.
again?
You skimmed it under the bottom. All right, go ahead. Shoot it ready. All right, I've got the Beretta A300 Ultima Patrol with me. It's new on the market. It still passes in a lot of states as a legal 50-state shotgun. We're going to shoot that plate, which is rated to 3A, with some target loads, which it should be able to stop no problem, some buckshot, which I'm curious about in its current condition. That is number 4 buck, and then a slug, solid slug. I'm going to shoot it. Between each round, we're going to check it and see where it stands. Okay, so we shot with 7.62 by 3.9 softcore, and here's what we've got. The round went in, and it deformed and spread out all the fibers here, and melted inside there. So technically, while it was a high hit, it still did its job, but I would not want to be the guy wearing this plate when this happens. We're going to go ahead now, because this is rated to 3A. I'm going to shoot it with 12 gauge, which is something it is rated for. Typically 3A is not rated for 7.62 by 3.9. So I'm pretty impressed with this so far. Alright, as you can see here, again, I don't even want to touch this thing. It's worse than this. The assault bananas must stop. But we have here a 45 ACP 1911, and we're going to use our hollow points from Federal Defense on that plate. Alright, so if you look here, it stopped the round. There's some deformation on the back at 9 mil. This is with, again, 124 grain FMJ, but there's the round trapped down in the fibers. This is a fully synthetic armor, and that's why it floats. So it survived the 9 mil. We're going to shoot with 45 next, and we're going to use hollow points. Oh, what in the hell? Okay. Oh wait. All right. Here's what we're looking at. This was a little bit of a different reaction than the last bit, but I was wrong about the steel core. It's got some kind of Kevlar backing or something. The round went in here, and it went up at an angle when the plate fell down, and it tore up all of this fiber and went up. The plate was better braced. Maybe it would have still held up, but looking at this, there's some severe deformation, but there's no sign of the round actually going through. It's technically still held up. Just the angle is what did it. Considering this thing is soaking wet and might not have been the floating plate and is still stopping these rounds, I'm not going to talk too much shit on this. Alright, I'm going to test fire the A300 Beretta Patrol, or Beretta A300 Ultima Patrol shotgun before we start on any of the plates, just to see how it functions, because this is new. Firing! I like it. Alright, so as you can see here, we have all of the armor plates from OXO Tactical. They're supposed to be water resistant, and of course it's another sunny day in the Pacific Northwest, so we don't have to worry about it being, rained on and wet. Right here, I'm going to shoot this one first. We're going to go with 9mm on the list, then 45, and then we're going to finish it with the mild steel core 7.62 by 3.9 and see how it holds up. We have a brace set up out there. We're going to do that. Then we're going to hit the 3. Same thing, 9mm, 45 ACP. We're going to go and do the mild steel core there. And then we have a 30-30 that'll match most of the 7.62 by 5.1 requirements. Last but not least, 9.45, 7.62 by 3.9, the 5.56, the 30-30, and then we'll try some M855 core ammo from the 5.56 and see how these hold up. So we're going to do one shot at a time, chest the holes, and see where we're going.